Hello guys, and welcome to today's tutorial. In today's tutorial I will show you how to cut and sew a lace collar from scratch. Please watch till the end of the video. Thank you. So for this tutorial I will use a white cord lace fabric. I'll use the scallop part of the lace fabric. So to start, I will have to measure the neckline circumference of the dress I want to attach this collar to. So I'll measure the circumference I have on my neckline. I would measure from one end, from the zipper, from one end to the other end. So when I measured, I got a neck circumference of 19 inches. So I'll first draft out my collar stand. So I would assume that my paper is on fold. So I will now measure out half of 19 inches, which is 9.5. So I would note that on my paper. I would note 9.5 on my paper. I would also make a point up for 9.5 and connect the 2 points together. So I would also put the 9.5 and then draw a straight line. So now what I will do now will be to find the center or the middle of this 9.5 inches I have, which is 4.75 inches. I would also make this point on two different places and rule a line across. Then from the first line I ruled, which is my center back, I would come up from the end of the paper. I'll come up by half an inch and connect it to the second line I ruled, the middle of the line of the middle of the 9.5 inches. So I would connect, and then from there I would measure the height of my collar, which is 1.25. So I would measure from the sloped line I drew. I would measure and also measure on the other end, and on the other end as well I'll measure 1.25, which is the height of my collar. And this height, the collar height I'm drawing out, I did not add any allowance. This is the exact collar stand height, so I would add allowance later. So this other side is the center front, and the other side I came up by is the center back, and I've indicated that. So after that I would rule a line to enable me draft out my collar. So I would rule a line and also use this piece of paper to draft out my collar. So I ruled out this line that would serve as my baseline for my collar. So I would measure the height of the collar I want. You can measure any height, but I want a height of 4 inches with the seam allowance inclusive to this 4 inches. So I marked out 4 inches and I've ruled a line across the 4 inches point. So I would measure out the same 9.5 inches on my baseline, the same 9.5 inches, which is half of the neck circumference I'm working with. So I would note this point on both lines, on the baseline and also on the line up, and connect. Then from the baseline, from the center front, I would come in by 1 inch and connect it to the tip of the line on top. So that's my center front, and this other side is the center back. And from the center back, from the base, I would come up by half an inch on the baseline and connect it in a slanted manner to the center front line as shown. So this is it for the collar. So I have drafted out the collar. All I have to do now is to cut it out, and I'm indicating the part that is up and the part that would be attached to the collar stand. So the part I indicated as up would be the one up, and the lower part where I slanted would be the part attached to the collar stand. So I'll cut out the collar and the collar stand. So after cutting out, just note that for the collar stand I will cut 2 pieces and it will be on fold, and I'll also cut 2 pieces of the collar as well. So after cutting out, this is the collar and the collar stand. So I will then place them on the fabric and cut out. First of all, I have placed my collar on a gum stay and cut out the exact same thing I have on my pattern. I cut on fold. So what I'll do now will be to place this gum stay on a fabric, iron it on the white plain fabric I will use for the collar stand, and then add half-inch seam allowance all around. I will then use that to cut a second piece. Remember I said I'll cut 2 pieces of the collar stand. So as you can see, I've cut that out, and on one piece I ironed the gum stay and the other one is without gum stay. Next thing now will be to cut out the collar itself. So I have placed 2 pieces of the cord lace and I arranged them in such a way that the scallop parts are all matching. It's all matching so that what I have on one side will be the same thing I have on the other side. I've matched them and I placed them right sides facing each other. So I would use a pin and hold my pattern and then cut out. I'll add half-inch on the sides because I'll cut out the same height, but for the sides I would need a way to tidy up so that it doesn't frail or look untidy. So I would add half-inches on the sides so that I can use that to tidy up the sides, which you can either serge or fold in and sew, which in this case I would be folding mine in and sewing it to make the edges neat. So I'll go ahead and cut out. So this is what I have. I've cut the 2. So I've unpinned the pattern and this is what it looks like. And as you can see, the scallop on one side corresponds with what I have on the other side. So I would fold in the half-inch and sew on it. I'll just fold once and sew on it to tidy up the edges. So I have done that. As you can see, as I placed my pattern, it matches exactly with what I have on the fabric because I've sewn in the half-inches. So now to attach the collar to the collar stand, I have ironed my collar stand in a way that there is a crease at the center. So I've placed the one without the gum stay right side facing up, and the side facing me is the one that will attach to the neckline, and the upper part is where I would attach my collar to. So I will place my collar. As you see me do, the center, the crease acts at the center. So I'll place one part from the center where I have the crease on the collar stand and place the other one. And also the lace fabric, the right side is facing up. The collar stand underneath, the right side is also facing up. Then I would place the other part of the collar stand, the one that has the gum stay, the wrong side will face up. That is, for the collar stand, the right sides are facing each other. So this is how it will be. I've placed them everything equal, and then I'll sew on the half-inch seam allowance I added all around the collar stand. I would sew as I just demonstrated. From one side I would sew down and hold down on half-inch seam allowance and sew them together. So I have done that. I've joined them together using half-inch seam allowance, and I'm notching the edges to enable me turn it out. So I'll turn out the collar and then attach it to the dress that I've already made, okay, because I used a neckline measurement of a dress I have made, and I also posted how I cut and sewed the dress on my channel, on this channel. So I'll also drop the link to that in the description box. So this is the collar and it's looking so beautiful already. It's looking so fine. So what I'll do now will be to attach it to the dress. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed. Also click on the notification bell to be notified each time I upload a new video. So what I will do now, for the allowance that I will attach to the neckline, I will iron in the half-inches allowance to make it easier for me to attach the collar stand to the neckline. So to attach, I've ironed in the half-inches seam allowance, and I have notched the center front of the dress, the neckline of my dress. So I would pin all round, okay, where the collar separated in front is the center front of the collar, so I would also make a small notch on the collar stand at the center, and then I would pin from the wrong side. I would pin from the wrong side of the dress. Okay, I'll pin the center part of the collar. I'll pick out one side of the collar, okay, and then pin from the center front to one end, to the zipper side, and then to the other side, and then sew using half-inch seam allowance. Also using half-inch seam allowance. So after making that stitch, I will then turn the collar to the right side as I'm demonstrating, and then run another stitch to top stitch, covering the first stitch I've made. I'll top stitch against the first stitch I've made, and after that I will then add a press button to the back. So I've made the first stitch, I've attached the first one, as you can see. So I have turned the collar to the right side. So all I have to do now is to top stitch and then add a press button, as I said earlier, and that would just be all about how to attach this collar. So that's it all, guys. Thank you for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you are not subscribed to my channel, and please take out time to check out other interesting videos I have on this channel. See you in my next video. Bye.